Once upon a time, in a dense and shady forest, there lived a wise old owl. He had feathers as white as snow and eyes as bright as stars. His feathers were so white because he slept during the day and only came out at night. Every night he would fly around and hoot, and his voice was like music to the ears of all the animals in the forest. Now this wise owl lived in an old oak tree, which was very big and strong. It was the biggest and oldest tree in the whole forest. And the owl loved living in that tree because it was also very, very wise. See, the older a tree gets, the wiser it becomes. That's because trees are blessed with the ability to observe everything that happens around them. They can see every animal, every bird, and every human that enters their vicinity. So the wise owl thought that if he lived in a wise tree, then he himself would become wise too. So the owl sat on a branch and closed his eyes and started thinking. Yes. As he sat there, he saw lots of animals running around. Some of them were playing and some were fighting. Some of them were happy and some of them were sad. But the owl didn't bother paying any attention to them. Instead, he just sat there quietly and kept on closing his eyes. After a while, the owl opened one eye and asked, "Hey, Mr. Oak Tree, is that how you become wise? By sitting here and doing nothing?" The oak tree rustled its leaves and said, "You silly owl, just sit quietly. That's how you'll become wise." The owl wanted to become wise, so he closed his eyes again. But after a few moments, he opened one eye and asked, "Mr. Oak Tree, am I getting any wiser now?" The oak tree replied, "Not yet. Keep sitting quietly." The owl was disappointed, but he wanted to be wise, so he closed his eyes again. This time, however, a squirrel came scampering up the tree and asked, "Hey, wise old owl, why are you sitting here with your eyes closed? Are you taking a nap?" The owl opened both his eyes and said, "I'm trying to become wise by sitting here and doing nothing, but it's not working. Mr. Oak Tree says that I should just sit quietly, but I don't think it's working." The squirrel sat on a branch beside him and said, "That's the wrong way to do it. If you want to become wise, then don't just sit here and do nothing. Instead, you need to see everything around you. You need to watch what other animals are doing and learn from them. That's how you become wise." The owl thought for a moment. The squirrel was right. He'd seen many things while sitting here, but he hadn't paid any attention to them. He had just been dozing off instead of actually observing his surroundings. The owl thanked the squirrel for the advice and started paying close attention to everything that was going on around him. He watched as a little mouse scurried past, its nose twitching as it searched for food. He watched as a deer gracefully leaped over a fallen log, its antlers held high. He watched as a family of rabbits hopped by, their white tails bobbing in the air. He watched as a fox trotted through the underbrush, its fur glowing red in the moonlight. He watched as a family of raccoons rummaged through a nearby dumpster, looking for scraps to eat. He watched as a group of owls hooted and called to each other, their voices echoing through the trees. He watched as a lone wolf howled at the moon, its cry echoing through the forest. He watched as fireflies blinked their lights on and off in the darkness, creating a magical atmosphere. He watched as the stars twinkled in the night sky, their light shining down on the forest below. As the owl continued to watch everything that was going on around him, he began to feel a sense of calm and clarity. He realized that the world was full of wonders, and that he was lucky to be able to see it all. He began to understand the interconnectedness of all living things and the importance of respecting all life. He began to see the beauty in everything and to appreciate the gift of sight. As the night wore on, the owl's eyes grew heavy, and he felt himself drifting off to sleep. He snuggled into his nest of leaves and closed his eyes, feeling a sense of peace and contentment. As he slept, he dreamed of all the things he had seen that night and the wisdom he had gained. In the morning, when the sun began to rise, the owl awoke and stretched his wings. He felt different somehow, wiser, and more at peace with himself. He looked around him and saw the forest in a new light. He saw the beauty in the trees, the birds, and the animals. He saw the interconnectedness of all living things and the importance of respecting all life. He saw the wonder in everything, and he knew that he was lucky to be able to see it all. From that day on, the owl continued to observe everything that was going on around him. He became known throughout the forest as the wisest owl of them all, and all because he decided to stop daydreaming and start paying attention to the world around him. Many years passed, and the wise owl grew even wiser. One day, a young owl approached the wise owl and asked, "How did you become so wise? What's your secret?" The wise owl closed his eyes and said, "My secret is simple. I just observe everything that is going on around me. I watch how other animals behave and try to learn from them. That's how I became wise." The young owl was surprised. He had always thought that being wise meant sitting around and doing nothing. But now he realized that it meant paying attention to the world around him and learning from it. He thanked the wise owl for his advice and flew away. And that's how the wise owl became the wisest creature in the forest. Now, whenever you feel like you're not making any progress in life, remember the wise owl. Just keep trying, and eventually you'll get there. Also, never stop learning. There's always something new to learn, whether it's from a book or from another person. And finally, don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes we get stuck because we're too proud to ask for help, but asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Remember, knowledge comes with time and patience. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.